that, your name and what you do? Anyway,
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
I'm not,
Anytime.
Okay, my name is Bob Morse, and I own a small web development company called Morse Media, and we also host websites.
what's Morse Media?
It's a company that builds websites for people.
So, when did you become interested in Bigfoot?
Well, I guess when I first started hearing stories about it when I moved here in 1986. Humboldt County is kind of a hotbed of Bigfoot lore and excitement. And I did some backpacking in the Trinity Alps and always kept my eyes out. Didn't see anything. Heard some strange things, I guess, but nothing that could be identified as a humanid, cryptid beast walking around.
And why are you interested in saying that it does not exist, or being skeptic?
Well, I'm just interested in critical thinking in general. I'm interested in the phenomenon of people accepting things to believe in, that they can believe in without evidence. And Bigfoot is kind of a fun topic. It's not a really humanly critical topic, but certainly is an important one around here because it draws a lot of attention and tourism. And, there's a museum and all kinds of different things.
Why not?
Why? I think people love stories, and they love to believe in those stories. And there have been a number of people who have created hoaxes that provided so-called evidence for Bigfoot. You know, the footsteps in the mud and sightings and the film of the guy in the monkey suit walking around.
But there's so many people saying they've seen something. What could it be then?
Well, people say they see the face of Mary in toast. So it could be all kinds of different things. Eyewitness accounts are really fallible. There's just was mentioning that there's been a recent study of over 3,000 sightings of Bigfoot in the United States in the last 92 years. Over 3,000 and no evidence. So people are seeing all kinds of things, and there's a lot of explanations for it. Some people are just making it up. Some people see stumps with, in the dark, shadows, rocks, bears. Bears are very common that walk on their hind legs. So it could be all kinds of different things.
Okay. What would make a skeptic believe in Bigfoot?
Well, there's, I guess, hard evidence. Now, some people say that DNA evidence would suffice, but really, there's been no DNA evidence of it. The people have submitted hair fibers and all kinds of different things. There was recently a study published online by a veterinarian named Ketchum, who said, we have this DNA evidence, and all she actually discovered was that there was genetic material of people, and then there were anomalies. But that anomalies does not prove there's Bigfoot. It just means that she found anomalies. You can find anomalies in all kinds of genetic material. So I think the real proof would have to be a carcass, some actual, or bones or something that then could be tested against other genetic material.
And do you think the veterinarian who published that report created her own study? Is that what you're saying?
Well, she did her own study.
What I was talking over you. So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
She did, yeah, she wrote her own study, and then she self-published it in her own online magazine. So it's not been peer-reviewed, or she didn't submit it for peer review. It just was there, and then other scientists looked at it and questioned it.
So no other scientists accepted it?
No, so far that I've seen. I think the whole point of skepticism in any of these endeavors is that most skeptics want to believe, just like everybody else, and would welcome actual evidence, because that would be very exciting. And think of how many more tourists would come to Humboldt County if there was real proof of Bigfoot.
Do you think it's good for the county that Bigfoot exists?
You mean that the idea of Bigfoot exists? Sure. I think anything that draws people here, we're kind of remote, so as I'm sure you found out getting here takes a while. So anything that would draw people to Humboldt County to spend money and walk in the woods, it's a great thing. I think it's wonderful. I don't want to squelch the desire to find it, because obviously that would be great.
And do you think that whole thing it was invented to make people come here, to have it more tourists, or to make?
Well, I just read in a book, a pretty new book called Abominable Science, about the whole history of the Bigfoot myth, and it's really hard to say what the motivations are of the people that first started the story. It wasn't started here. It was started, I think, in Canada, I believe, actually. Some people, probably somebody wanted some notoriety, and they got it.
Do you have more information about these people in the movie? About Bigfoot?
Only that it's hard to verify anything, and from all we have is the print.
No, the movie, the video, the Patterson.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. All we have is that movie. One of the guys is dead. The other guy, is not saying anything. There is a character from Humboldt County who was a neighbor of theirs who claims to have he had the gorilla suit that he wore out into the woods for the movie. Of course, his name is Hieronymus. I can't remember his last name.
Where is he from?
He's in Humboldt County, Willow Creek, I believe, Willow Creek area. Yeah. So it's just a film that anybody could fake. That doesn't prove anything.
Okay. What about the Native Americans? They say that they always see Bigfoot.
Well, in actuality, there are so many different stories of different kinds of creatures, and something like a Bigfoot is among them. So which one of those stories are we going to believe that they see?
Could you actually contextualize it with natives? Because right now all we're hearing is they and it, so the stories of natives are...
Okay, you want me to repeat? Okay.
Yeah, she's not in it.
Okay, got it. So there are lots of Native American stories of lots of different creatures in the woods, and a Bigfoot type creature is among those. What's interesting about the history of Bigfoot sightings is that they vary in a tremendous amount. There are people who say they've seen Bigfoot and they're 6 feet tall, and some say they're 20 feet tall, and even the footprints are of different sizes and different numbers of toes. So there doesn't seem to be any consistent classification of animal that we can point to.
Do you have an idea how is Bigfoot covered in the media around here? And is there a lot of articles? Is there a lot of sightings and
It doesn't happen very often.
But that we talked about it in the media.
Yeah.
The context of my question.
Right. The local press occasionally will have a story about Bigfoot, somebody claiming to have seen one or seen a footprint or some evidence. And it seems to happen every time. It seems like the interest in Bigfoot has lagged a little bit.
Could you take it from it seems like?
It seems like it happens periodically whenever interest in Bigfoot has lagged a little bit. It's been out of the press, and so somebody will come up with another story, another hoax, or another sighting, or whatever. I just saw another article that there was another sighting in Ohio. They're everywhere. So whenever somebody needs something to happen in their area, Bigfoot seems to be a great point of interest.
Okay. And why are you interested in saying what you're saying to the camera?
That's a good question. I don't know why I am. Because I was asked if there are any skeptics in Humboldt County. Because I know that there are a lot of believers, and I don't think there are a lot of people who want to admit being skeptical because it's a kind of would put a damper on the popularity if there was a lot of people that were skeptical of the Bigfoot story. So I'm just kind of interested in the whole phenomenon, mostly about why people believe what they do, and in particular this one, it seems to be so unbelievable to me. Carl Sagan said extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and there is no evidence, but there are lots of extraordinary claims.
It's funny because people say the opposite. They say that people seeing all these sightings don't want to talk because they're scared of ridicule.
Well, I don't know, 3,000 sightings publicly acclaimed on the internet seems like a lot of people.
Where are these sightings? Where can you see it on the internet?
Well, there are a number of websites that chronicle all the what they call mountain of evidence for Bigfoot, and so I don't know, just Google it.
But here in the county.
Well, in Humboldt County, there's a lot of material, I guess, in the libraries, but also obviously the Bigfoot Museum carries books and all kinds of different things.
So if you go to
Okay, hold on a second. I have to change batteries. Okay.
Okay, but I'm done actually.
Okay. Well.
Anything else you want to say?
A second.